Hello.
How are you? All right?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Well, good, thanks. Yeah. How's your weekend going?
Good. We haven't eaten dinner yet, so we're gonna
Right.
run off back to the kitchen and just finish it and dish up, and then we'll be back through in a minute. But we'll
Cool.
take the audio with us, so we'll still be able to hear you.
Fabulous.
There you go, Michael.
Yeah, how's it going? Did you play any more games last night after I left?
Yep.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Andrea. How's it going?
Good. A bit tired, but I'm happy to be here.
Yay! We're happy to you're here. Yay!
I am here. Yes.
I'm feeling a bit sleepy as well, to be honest. So we'll have a nice, sleepy, relaxed one tonight.
Yes. Very nice.
I like your hair. Have you had it done? It's nice.
Oh, it's just a little bit more loose, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like that's the.
Yeah.
Like, I pulled it back, but it's not as like.
So how's things in Freiburg?
I mean, like, do you mean weather-wise?
Yes,
or
snow-wise. How many mountains of snow have you had this week?
Actually, it's gotten a lot milder, and it's been thawing, and because of that, and we've had lots of rain as well.
Oh.
Because of that, like the river is very like it's not like I'm lacking the right words.
That's okay.
So like the it's not that like we don't have a flood,
Yeah.
but like from its usual, like it's a little bit over its usual size, like, and also
I see what you mean. Yes,
it's very like going very fast. It's like white
okay.
water basically.
Wow. Okay.
So you saw several people going down the river with their like kayaks. Yeah.
That sounds cool. That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Usually you can't do that because there's lots of stones. So you
I see.
but now it has enough water, and it's white water, so it's fun as well. So like there's only a couple of times a year, sometimes then you can't do it at all, that people can do it. And then like because there's lots of outdoorsy people in Freiburg, like they jump at the occasion. They don't have to travel for it, and they can just do it in their hometown, then they'll do it.
Yeah. Have you ever done it?
No, I haven't. Like I don't know how to kayak, but and I think this is more like advanced level.
Oh, I see.
Like,
Okay.
I mean,
you don't start on this then. Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah. You might want to practice first on like a lake or something, I guess, and not something where you can actually hurt yourself.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you, and how are things in Manchester?
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Yeah. What's happening here? So I've got my bubble friend coming over tomorrow. That'll be lovely. Yay! So we're going to meet in a nice little local park, have a nice little walk, cups of tea and cake. I need to make the cake actually. I'm going to make flapjack.
Okay, what's a flapjack?
Flapjack is oats and syrup in kind of a tray bake, they call it, and then kind of quite bendy. It's nice. So I'm going to stick some sultanas, ginger, and possibly cinnamon in as well.
Ooh.
Lots of flavors. Yeah. And so then they're going to come back to mine, play games, have movies, have cuddles, have food. Yeah, that's the plan. Should be nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's that photo behind you? Is that a local wood? Forest above your head?
It's actually like it's a photo of where I grew up. It's like a friend of mine took the photo. It's just
that's really sweet.
Like
tree.
Yeah.
Hey, Katie.
Hi.
Hey, Mike.
How are you?
Andrea. I am doing all right. I'm a bit cold, so I'm going to go and get a blanket.
That sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Excellent plan.
Have lots of poems which I can read.
Perfect.
If you would like.
Yes.
Yay, yes, please.
I very much like.
I like the. Is it a candle behind you or some sort of lighting?
It's going to get blown out in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Good. No, it's fine. I'll have it another night when I'm actually looking at it.
You have time for other people to look at.
Please do not kick my cup.
Your cup.
Oh.
Hi, Andrada.
Andrada.
Hi.
Right.
Come out of the rabbit hole. and brought back some poems.
It's a frustrating rabbit hole because I knew there was a poem in a book that I packed, and I'm trying to find it on the internet, but I can't find it.
Oh no.
Andrea, did you manage to find your poem you had?
No.
Oh, no.
I tried all the ways of like,
Mm.
I don't know, retracing my steps basically of, I don't know, putting myself back in the situation where
Yeah.
like I had the idea, but I didn't manage to
Oh,
remember.
okay.
Well,
hopefully it'll come to you as we're throughout tonight. You can say, yes, that's the one. And you can go.
yes,
find it.
that would be perfect. No, but like, it's fine. Like I chose like 2 little ones, and
Yeah. Oh, nice.
it's just gonna be relaxed today. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
That's good.
sit here and listen to all the good poems that people pick.
Yay! Sounds good. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night I was playing games online with Alex, who's hiding, and who else was there? Iris, Gordon. Gordon was there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. So we played Colt Express, the one on the train, which is super fun. It's a really good game. It's really fun. And we
So
played a bit of code names.
okay, nice. I know code names, but I don't know the other one.
Yeah. Colt Express, it's so fun. In real life, it's just super fun. So in real life, you got this actual train on the table with all these little carriages, and you all play as kind of Wild West bandits and trying to steal money off all the different carriages. So there's bags of jewels and
I
bags of gold.
see.
And there's also a sheriff at the front of the train who's got like this briefcase. You're trying to avoid the sheriff. And the basic...
Is it a co-op game or is
No,
it...
no, it's a kind of an against each other game.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi,
Bracken.
Bracken.
But the concept is, it's more of a kind of a theatrical piece. So you play your cards. So I want to move someone. I want to pick up some coin. And you all play your cards in turn. You're going to get stacked. And you've got to try and remember who's played what when to try and remember who's in what carriage and who's done what action. And then at the end of the round, you then play it all out. And it never plays out the way you think it's going to play out. And that's why it's fun.
Sounds good.
Hey, Valerie.
Hey, Valerie. You had a haircut.
Like your glasses.
Yeah, thank you. New glasses as well.
Yeah, I like the glasses.
I got my hair cut before Christmas, but it's just kind of doing its own thing. So yeah, I think since I last saw you, actually, Katie, probably have had my hair cut.
It looks lovely.
Thank you. It's gone a bit short. I'm like, oh, it's drafty, but I guess that was good because I don't know when hairdressers will open again. So
Yeah.
thank you.
It is the way to go, to like just cut it all off and then let it grow out.
Yeah, I was so tempted to go really short, but yeah, I've not done it. So
You look great. I mean, you look great now.
Yeah.
You also look great with short hair.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
Oh.
Aww.
How did you get your new glasses?
Well, I got them just before Christmas as well. So
Okay.
I did a bad thing where I got my eyes tested last February and needed new glasses and did nothing about it. And then I started to get quite worried that my prescription might have changed again because I was hearing about people whose eyesight has become worse because of like lockdown and living at home more and maybe not having quite the right lighting all the time. So I was like, oh my God.
Okay.
And I've definitely noticed that I'm like looking more closely. I'm like this now a lot at work, so at my work laptop. So I went back to get them tested again, and yeah, so because opticians are still open, they're considered essential.
Okay.
Yeah. So thankfully, because because I drive as well, so it would be good if I'd had an accident or something. Yeah, so I got, these are like my kind of casual going out pair because I think I've reached that point where I need to wear glasses all the time now. And then I've got like a business pair somewhere. So it was quite different for me. Thank you. I'm not used to these round kind of.
Really suit your face. I like it. Yeah.
Thank you. We've just had a family quiz, an extended family quiz. And
how'd that go?
It was good fun. I think we came second. So yeah, it was entertaining. So
yeah. What did you do for your round?
I feel like I should know loads because I am Scottish, but I don't. Like, there's usually questions someone will ask me and I'm like, oh, I really don't know that. But I feel like sometimes I get obscure questions where it's like I should be a specialist of Scottish history and culture and things. I did do well because I think we all ended up looking at a lot of the same websites that had Scottish questions on. But I tried to think outside the box a bit. I like to include a lot of sort of entertainment questions on mine. So I was playing like some Scottish bands and then Scottish Ceilidh music. So they had to guess like the dance that they would dance to the music. And Yeah, things like that. So as you can see, my surname is Macintosh, and I didn't actually know that the motto of Clan Macintosh is "Touch not the cat without a glove."
Good to know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what's the story behind that? Did you
No
have a
idea.
bad incident with a cat in many years ago?
I don't know, no idea. There was another one because my family are mostly Macintoshes and McDonald's. So the McDonald's like being near the land and the sea. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but I'm like, touch not the cat without a glove. Huh?
No, I've got enough. Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. But it was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Have you got new cushions as well? I don't recognise that yellow cushion behind you.
Well, oh God, we have loads of cushions and they kind of
Not the
get
cat, the
moved
space.
around the room as we change.
Ah.
When I say we, I live with my sister. So my sister most of the time hogs the couch. She can never just sit on the couch. She'll lie out on it. So I run in as
Crawl
soon as
out.
she's not in the living room. I run in there and I climb it first because that doesn't happen very often. We've got various seats with cushions and they just kind of move to, I don't know why. It's just like with our mood, or we do yoga practice in the living room and use cushions for that as well. So we're not like, this is your place. We're just like, you just go wherever. Like a tour of my cushions? I can show you after. For the after chat, I'd be like.
Okay, after chat questions.
Yeah.
All right. I am noticing it might be a special time. It might be, I guess, poetry time.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh, yes,
Hiya, I'm
poetry
Eric.
time.
Just in
Hi,
time.
Eric.
I've been semi-lurking and getting my shit together. Hi! I've been enjoying the chats as well.
So first of all, so I know Mike has something, Katie has some, Andrada has some, Lyric has some. Tara told me that maybe later she'll go with one. But right now, she's not ready. Valerie, how about you? Are you listening to it? Okay, perfect. I'm just checking
Listening
in.
today. Listen
Yes,
to it
perfect,
before voices
perfect.
and what you read.
Just like I want to have people on the radar, but also you can always decide spontaneously. Yes, Bracken, do you have something? One. Okay, perfect. Cool. Great. All right. I think I'll start us off with a Mary Oliver one, and then, yes, I'll pass it on to somebody else. Right. Zoom. Get the right thing. Okay, now I can go because I want to see at least one person. Otherwise, it's so weird to talk into the void.
Alex, hi Carla. Carla.
Hi, Carla.
All right. So the Mary Oliver one is called Boundaries. There's a place where the town ends and the fields begin. It's not marked, but the feet know it. Also the heart that is longing for refreshment and equally for repose. Someday we'll live in the sky. Meanwhile, the house of our lives is the world. The fields, the ponds, the birds, the thick black oaks. Surely they are the children of God. The feistiness among the tiger lilies, the hedges of runaway honeysuckle that no one owns. Where is it, I ask, and then my feet know it. One jump, and I'm home.
Yay! That's super lovely.
Yeah, I really like Mary Oliver.
Yeah, that's a lovely start.
Yeah. Does anybody want to follow that?
I could do a little one now.
Sure,
Others
yes.
later. Some of my others I feel like need a little bit more easing into mood-wise, I think. But this one is a short one by Michaela Robin that is also called Boundaries.
Nice.
No is a necessary magic. No draws a circle around you with chalk. and says, I have given enough.
Thank you. I love that. Are you gonna post it in the like underneath the thing again? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely do that. When we post the videos, if I forget to and somebody wants to know something I read, feel free to nudge me. I just am bad at actually remembering to, but I like.
Oh, thanks. Does anybody? Yes, Katie.
This one's called Coat, and it's by Vicky Fever. Sometimes I have wanted to throw you off like a heavy coat. Sometimes I have said you would not let me breathe or move. But now that I am free to choose light clothes or none at all, I feel the cold, and all the time I think how warm it used to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's lovely, Katie.
Yeah. I think, like, I wasn't sure. Mike, did I see you before that you also wanted to go?
Yeah, I've got a few little ones.
Yes.
Which one makes most sense here? I think we'll link back to yours, actually, Andrea, with the physical aspect.
Yeah.
This is by Jodie Lynn, just a little short one. I don't think it's got a name. Yeah. The tallest peaks I have ever seen belong to mountains that made me. How I used to curse those steep slopes that taught me to touch the stars.
Alright. Anybody wanna follow this? Yes, Bracken.
I wasn't here for the beginning thing, so I don't know. Are you wanting to leave the heavy ones for later on, or?
Well, like not necessarily. Like Lyric said they had one that they wanted to lead into first, or like that we get down to that. But also, I think it's good if not all the heavy ones are in one concentrated bit, so we can have a little bit of like I don't know, relief after a heavy one. So like I think you could go for it. If
You guys okay for a heavy one?
Yeah, for sure. I just didn't want to read my heavy shit as the second poem of the evening.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Okay, so I should put a wee warning on this. There is discussions of like child physical abuse. Yeah, so if that is something that might impact you, you might want to not listen to this poem. So
and you can also message like anybody who wants to like sit that one out. We can give a signal or something for when we're back. I don't know.
I mean, we all start clapping, so
That's true. That's true. That's very obvious. Okay.
okay, so this poem is called Breaking Out. My first political act, I am seeing two doors that usually stood open, leaning together like gossips, making a closet of their corner. A mangle stood there for ironing what I never thought needed it. Sheets, towels, my father's underwear, an upright vacuum with its stuffed sausage bag that deflated with a gusty sigh as if weary of housework as I, who swore I would never dust or sweep after I left home, who hated to see my mother removing daily the sludge the air lay down like a snail's track, so that when in school I read of Sisyphus and his rock, it was her I thought of, housewife scrubbing on raw knees as the factories rained ash. Nasty stork king of the hobnobbing doors was a wooden yardstick, dusty with chalk marks from hymns rise and fall. When I had been judged truly wicked, that stick was the tool of punishment. I was beaten as I bellowed like a locomotive, as if noise could ward off blows. My mother wielded it more fiercely, but my father far longer and harder. I'd twist my head in the mirror to inspect. I'd study those red and blue mountain ranges as on a map that offered escape. The veins and arteries, the roads I could travel to freedom when I grew. When I was 11, after a beating I took and smashed the ruler to kindling, fingering the splinters I could not believe. How could this rod prove weaker than me? It was not that I was never again beaten, but in destroying that stick that had measured my pain, the next day I was an adolescent, not a child. This is not a tale of innocence lost, but power gained. I would not be Sisyphus. There were things that I should learn to break.
Wow. It's powerful.
And that's one by Marge Piercy.
Mm.
Marge Piercy.
Yeah.
There's a poem for every occasion.
Yeah.
She's the mountain goats of poetry.
She is the mountain goats of poetry, that's true, yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mike, since you're our like wholesomeness ambassador, do you have something to make us feel a little bit better?
Bless you. Goodness. I'm kind of the other end of the spectrum, aren't I, really? I've got another little short one from Jodie Lynn, or we can have a more longer one. What are you thinking?
Maybe a short one as
Yeah.
a kind of
Palette cleanser.
Yeah.
Sure.
Perfect.
Okay.
A poet cleanser, yeah.
Okay. Setting boundaries is an act of liberation. While freeing yourself, you also free those with the illusion that their happiness depends on you.
Okay. Andrada, would you like to go next with one of your rabbit hole finds?
Yes. Slightly more physical boundaries or more like emotional boundaries?
Let's go for physical boundaries for a change.
Cool. This is Front Door by Imtiaz Darker. Wherever I have lived, walking out the front door every morning means crossing over to a foreign country. One language inside the house, another out. The food and clothes and customs change. The fingers on my hand turn into forks. I call it adaptation when my tongue switches from one grammar to another. But the truth is, I'm addicted now, high on the rush of daily displacement, speeding to a different time zone, heading into altered weather, landing as another person. Don't think I haven't noticed. You're on the same trip too.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like the aspect of like being a bit of a different person in a different language, and not like the whole bilingual thing and the different cultures. Yeah. Thank you.
I think I have one that might go all right after that, but it also goes a little bit more in the heavier direction. This one is about.
I've got one on physical bound. I've got one on physical boundaries, which is more lighter. If you want to go that way first, I don't know. It depends. Tell it to you.
Down, up, down. What are you feeling? Mine does end kind of hopeful, so it could be like a building up towards.
Yeah. Let's go for it, lyric. Yeah. And then
this one is about a movement that is related to sexual assault, but doesn't explicitly say that, but just a heads up. And it's called Movement. brave woman stood up in an ocean of alone. Me. And as if she summoned sisters from the sea, they raised their hands like an army of answer, echo that would change. Quiet at first, then amplified by the bittersweet gift of not only one back to carry the burden. Crestfall, long overdue, by the sound of thousands of opening arms, voice.
Thank you.
Did anyone else have audio problems in?
Yes.
I lost the last
What's
line.
the end? So I wasn't quite sure
Do you
whether.
want the last line?
Yes.
Because the last line's good. Okay. I'll do like the last little bit if you want.
Yes. Thank you.
And like a trust fall, long overdue, he was caught by the sound of thousands of opening arms, voices, the voiceless, speaking, me too.
And I'm so glad you asked color, because that was, yes, that was important. We missed the
Yep.
Me Too bit. Yeah.
For sure. It's called Drive Here and Devastate Me. And like this entire book by Megan Valley, the last lines are like gut wrenching. So I feel like they're very important.
Yeah. Thank you. So Mike, would you like to go with yours next?
Yeah, so we've changed a bit direction, haven't we? We've gone into kind
Oh,
of
okay.
more emotional stuff. So I've got an emotional one.
Yeah.
You want? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is called The Right for Healthy Boundaries by Emily Medill. These walls weren't built to keep you out. These walls are a reflection of self-love, a shift beyond incessant self-doubt. It is never about the other. Paths crossing can be viewed as a gift. The journey is for becoming, for seeing inner truth and honouring self-worth. When enveloped in light of the most loving kind, worn and weathered paths may no longer intertwine. New opportunities for growth will undoubtedly appear. Fear not the storm before you. Tether to your core when the desire for walls comes near. Remember, personal happiness is yours to create and define. Embrace your healthy boundaries. Say yes to love and your right to shine.
Thank you, Mike.
Right.
I'd like to go next with two very short ones. They're by Naya Waid. And, right. The first one is called The Blunt Force of Gratitude. I learned shukran, thank you, first. Shukran, thank you for this meal. Shukran, thank you for making this for me. Shukran for everything. And in the midst of all this gratitude, no, was lost before I ever found it. And the second one is called The Third Parent. There were times when I needed no, and it was not there for me. Katie, do you have one that could follow this?
Sure. What sort of one do people want?
What do you have on offer?
I have lots of things.
Mm.
Do you want something happy or something less happy?
Let's go with something happy.
Bracken and me are just like permanently opposite. Opposing forces.
Scott's poetry is dark.
For context, Rory and I just watched Taxi Driver, which was a very dark film.
Oh dear.
Well, we can go dark again, but I don't know. I just made a choice for
We
me.
need to go dark. All I'm saying is that our barometer for vibes is way off.
All right.
And don't worry, there will be more dark. And there will be more light.
Ah, I had a perfect one and now I can't find it.
Oh.
So you will get a different one unless I can find it in the next 5 seconds. Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy noises.
This one is The Gateway by A.D. Hope. Now the heart sings with all its 1,000 voices, to hear the city of cells, my body sing. The tree through the stiff clay at long last forces its thin strong roots and taps the secret spring. And the sweet waters without intermission climb to the tips of its green tenement. The breasts have borne the grace of their possession. The lips have felt the pressure of content. Here I come home. In this expected country, they know my name and speak it with delight. I am the dream, and you my gates of entry, the means by which I waken into light.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah.
Katie, you're giving me not dark feelings.
Yeah. Malcolm, I saw your message. Do you think that would fit now, or do you want to go later?
Maybe a bit later.
Cool.
That's right. But yeah.
Does anybody want to jump in?
I mean, I can continue reading poems for the next hour, which are about boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we had happy now. We can satisfy Bracken and Rory and go dark.
How about Black Monday's Love Song by A.S.J. Tessamond?
Perfect.
In love's dances, one retreats and one advances. One grows warmer and one colder, one more hesitant, one bolder. One gives what the other needed, once or will need, now unheeded. One is clenched, compact, ingrowing, while the other is melting, flowing. One is smiling and concealing, while the other is asking, kneeling. One is arguing or sleeping, while the other is weeping, weeping. And the question finds no answer, and the tune misleads the dancer. And the lost look finds no other, and the lost hand finds no brother. And the word is left unspoken, till the theme and thread are broken. When shall these divisions alter? Echo's answer seems to falter. Oh, the unperplexed, unvexed time. Next time, one day, next time. Satisfied, Bracken? I have a poem for Rory in the bonus after poetry chat.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I love the musicality of that one, like the pattern, that it was very like, it had a very strict, yes, like rhyming pattern and like meter and everything. Really flowed nicely. I don't know, maybe, how about Andrada? Another one. Yes?
Yep, I have one by William Landay. For some reason, Best Society, that's what it's called. The website doesn't show the title for some reason. When I was a child, I thought casually that solitude never needed to be sought. Something everybody had, like nakedness. It lay at hand, not specially right or specially wrong, a plentiful and obvious thing, not at all hard to understand. Then, after 20, it became, at once, more difficult to get and more desired, though all the same more undesirable. For what you are alone has, to achieve the rank of fact, to be expressed in terms of others, or is just a compensating make-believe. Much better stay in company. To love you must have someone else. Giving requires a legatee. Good neighbours need whole parishfuls of folk to do it on. In short, our virtues are all social. If deprived of solitude you chafe, it's clear you're not the virtuous sort. Viciously then I lock my door. The gas fire breathes. The wind outside ushers in evening rain. Once more, uncontradicting solitude supports me on its giant palm. And like a sea anemone or a simple snail, there, cautiously, unfolds, emerges what I am.
I love that. Yeah.
Nail!
Yeah. Yes, snail.
Cute.
Yeah.
That just made me think of like the song Sail that we all used to dance fusion to.
Are you saying that we should rewrite Sail to be Frankie's story and then just go snail? This is how I paint some walls.
It's going to be
I
the
love
new
those-
Newt Newt.
It totally could be. That's great.
Those misheard lyrics videos, they're great.
Mm.
I have one which is about finding yourself, which might follow on nicely.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Called The Ideal, and it's by James Fenton. This is where I came from. I passed this way. This should not be shameful or hard to say. A self is a self. It is not a screen. A person should respect what he has been. This is my past, which I shall not discard. This is the ideal. This is hard.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a darker one that ends on a finding self note, but it also is definitely a heavier one.
I'm up for it.
Cool. It's also mine.
Yay. Yes. Very excited.
Content warnings of just like aftermath of hard shit. When boundaries come at the expense of the comfort of a man, the burden of the aftermath can collapse upon you. Stones tumble in warning for the landslide strikes. This avalanche is not your fault, though it seemingly became yours. The instant you needed to shout. The earth did not crumble because of your cry, even though it may continue, crush you. You're there, poor, listening. He pushed the rock that ricocheted them all. This will not be death of you. I know because When I crawled out of this altar I felt I built for my malaise, my shadow was waiting.
Towards the end, I couldn't hear it again. I think I also saw Mike.
Yeah, it cut out for me as well. Yeah.
We
All
missed.
right, what was the last part you heard?
It was
It was just literally the last line again for some reason.
Okay.
literally the last line we missed.
Yeah.
So my shadow was waiting for me to come home.
Thank you for sharing that with us, for trusting us with that.
Thanks for the theme. I love these themes as an excuse to write about something.
Yeah. Mike, would you like to go next? No,
not after that. No.
Right. Let's see. I don't have one myself that fits. So
Katie's got plenty, I think.
I think that just means time to go in a different direction if no one has one that fits.
Katie, have you got loads? Have you got any more? Do you have?
I can't hear anything because the kettle's boiling.
Oh, I see. Do you have poems you would like to read?
Did you do Touch by Tom Gunn in the week you did Touch?
I definitely remember doing a Tom Gunn one. I'm not sure which
We
one.
did the hug, but I don't think we did touch.
Yes, I think it was the hug. Yes, yeah.
But either way, read it.
yes, please.
You are already asleep. I lower myself in next to you, my skin slightly numb with the restraint of habits, the patina of self, the black frost of outsideness, so that even unclothed it is a resilient chilly hardness, a superficially malleable, dead rubbery texture. You are a mound of bedclothes, where the cat in sleep braces its paws against your calf through the blankets and kneads each paw in turn. Meanwhile, and slowly, I feel is it my own warmth surfacing, or the ferment of your whole body that in darkness beneath the cover is stealing bit by bit to break down that chill? You turn and hold me tightly. Do you know who I am, or am I your mother, or the nearest human being to hold on to in a dreamed pogrom? What I now loosened sink into is an old, big place. It is there already, for you are already there, and the cat got there before you, yet it is hard to locate. What is more, the place is not found, but seeps from our touch in continuous creation, dark enclosing cocoon round ourselves alone, dark wide realm where we walk with everyone.
Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thank you. I also loved how you've read it. Like, yeah.
It's written really weirdly. Where he puts the line breaks is weird.
Oh.
It's not where I would put them if I'd written that poem.
I think that when I read some poems, like, why have you put breaks there? Are they just having a mess with those, or is it? I don't know. Not sure. I liked your version of it, though.
Andrada, do you have another one for us?
You're muted.
Yes, you're muted.
I kind of had one and then decided against it.
Ah, that's fine. Mm. Mm. Mike, do you think yours would fit now?
Yeah,
so
it's definitely on the right trajectory.
okay.
This is more towards the physical boundaries. And it's called Painting by Numbers. There's safety in numbers, especially when painting. Reduces the fear, but gets our minds in training. To stay inside the lines, keep the colours apart. That's what we're told from the very start, but we shouldn't accept everything that we're taught. Things we should do and things we should not. Keeping things separate is not always binary. Relax the rules and stop crossing the boundary, and awesome new colours will start to appear, two merging to one when they start to get near. The future should not have lines to divide us. Let's all blend together and use kindness to guide us.
Aw.
Delightful and on brand.
Yay!
So much.
Very nice. Andrea, the little song I was talking about is kind of similar themed.
Yeah, then maybe now's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah. At least Bracken, I think, would have heard this. I imagine others would have. It's the actual title. It is Why We Build the Wall from
You
Hades. Town.
fucking did it! Less than 24 hours and you did it!
Right, so I might skip the odd lines just because they repeat sometimes and stuff, and I think I remember all the tune, but you know, musically something will happen.
Malcolm, just before you get started, we're getting weird audio background noises that I think must be coming from someone that's unmuted, but I haven't been able to figure out who. I just wonder if we could all mute so that we can hear Malcolm to maximum effect.
We're all muted, so I don't know where it's coming from.
It's Malcolm, if we're honest.
Yeah, it's Malcolm.
Yeah. Quite often my fan actually feels like it's working over hard.
That's what it is. Yeah, it sounds like waves on a beach to me.
So, yeah, what I might try and do is have my laptop slightly off my blankets and see if I can cool it down in the next little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, I probably have lots of things open as usual.
Or if you've got headphones, that might work.
My poor laptop. I don't actually really have headphones because mine mostly are wireless and they don't plug in and blah blah blah. Yeah, so I will spend just a minute closing a couple of bits and try to free up some RAM. Maybe while I'm doing that, if someone else had a short poem or something, if that's okay.
Yes, Katie.
Sorry, this was just a really inspiring theme and I loved it so much. And it made me happy.
Yay.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
This is one by Maxime Cumin called After Love. Afterwards, the compromise. Bodies resume their boundaries. These legs, for instance, mine. Your arms take you back in. Spoons of our fingers, lips admit their ownership. The bedding yawns, a door blows aimlessly ajar, and overhead a plane sing-songs coming down. Nothing is changed, except there was a moment when the wolf, the mongering wolf who stands outside the self, lay lightly down and slept. I could do a very short, happier one if that would be an easy transition for Malcolm. I don't know where he's going.
I don't know where he's going either, but I'd say go for it.
I'm just hoping my laptop stops being so noisy in the next minute, but I will go either way after this next one.
Cool.
So this one's by Howard Nemiroff, and it's called "Because You Asked About the Line Between Prose and Poetry." Sparrows were feeding in a freezing drizzle that, while you watched, turned into pieces of snow, riding a gradient invisible, from silver aslant to random, white and slow. There came a moment that you couldn't tell, and then they clearly flew instead of fell.
Yeah.
Nice.
What books are all these from, Katie? What books are all these from tonight?
These are from Poem of the Day 2, which is the one after my poem for the day, which has many, many bookmarks, one of which is a book.
You got a book as a bookmark. Brilliant.
Well, it did actually sort of work, closing down some things and freeing up some RAM, and I forget about that. So if I'm noisy in the future, please remind me.
All right. It does sound better now.
Yeah.
So, cool. Go for it.
But yeah, the song is from a musical called Hadestown, but I actually think the musical was written around this song, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though. But anyway, it's called Why We Build the Wall. Why do we build the wall, my children, my children? Why do we build the wall? We build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall, we build the wall to keep us free. How does the wall keep us free, my children, my children? How does the wall keep us free? The wall keeps out the enemy, and we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall, we build the wall to keep us free. Who do we call the enemy, my children, my children? Who do we call the enemy? The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy. And we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall, we build the wall to keep us free. Because we have and they have not, my children, my children. Because they want what we have got. Because we have and they have not. Because they want what we have got. The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy, and we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall to keep us free. What do we have that they should want, my children, my children? What do we have that they should want? What do we have that they should want? We have a wall to work upon. We have work and they have none, and our work is never done, my children, my children. And the war is never won. The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy. And we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free. And that's that.
Yay!
Wow.
Alex and I are massive fans of that song, and we're very excited at the prospect of hearing it in Malcolm's voice, and we were not disappointed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I always love it when somebody sings to me, but also I have a thing for Malcolm's voice.
Does anybody not have a thing for Malcolm's voice?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, didn't we write a group poem to Malcolm's voice?
Oh, that was a birthday gift.
No.
I don't think I've heard it, and I think I missed out. I need to hear this.
Okay, well, if you want in the after chat, we can pull it out because it's not on brand, but you can definitely hear it if you'd like.
Yeah.
Cool.
She has a very different voice to me, but it's just a very nice one.
All right. So thank you, Malcolm. Well, it is almost 11 or you're 10 in the UK. So I'd say like last call for poems.
Last orders.
Yeah, last orders.
I have one more that I'd like to do. If you're all bored of hearing me read poems.
I'd love to hear you read more.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Katie, you could keep reading us poems for
Oh,
another
wait.
hour.
Tara?
I said I probably can also try mine.
Yes. Yes.
Also, thank you, Malcolm. That was really lovely.
Oh, thanks.
Should I go before or after Katie?
Okay,
For now,
Katie's
Tara.
nodding enthusiastically, so I think that means you can go.
Okay. I've got to find it again. Sorry. Yeah, so I didn't have time to really find exactly what I would have wanted.
Your sound is
Oh,
gone.
at the moment your audio is weird.
Just
It's
muffled.
weird. Oh.
Right now it's better. It's back again to normal.
Maybe I had my hand over the microphone. I'm in the dark, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay now?
Yes.
Now it's perfect.
Okay, good. I'll just keep my hands where they are.
Great.
So yeah, I'll just read something to give you a kind of idea of the sort of thing that one of my favorite poets from New Zealand writes about, like about physical boundaries, but like sometimes metaphorically, I guess. And yeah, like it's basically her #1 top thing that she's obsessed with. So there's stuff I like better of hers on this theme, but I couldn't find it in time. So this is part of a too-long poem for right now called Bump and Grind, which she wrote while she was going through some major spinal surgery. It doesn't show up at all in the poem, but that's her comment at the end of it. Okay. Bump and Grind by Cilla McQueen. Light rain. I lie underneath the tree's soft umbrella. The birds sing counterpoint, 4 dimensions couched in the blipping flight of sparrows. The world in its immediate reflection, a self-excited circuit, a snake with its tail in its mouth, eyes and reflected eyes, layers of glass, a maze of strange and simple couplings, the world dreaming, a bubble skin away from my fingertips. In the silence, songbuds, imagination flowers in bareness. One day, when I was sitting calmly in the garden, I suddenly slid into oblivion, then out the other side backwards, shaken. I looked around. My heart was pounding. Everything seemed just the same as before. Surface tension holds yes apart from no, 0 from 1, the line between, when one becomes the other. Miles from where we started. I'm going to skip a bit because there's some bits I especially want to get to. Cicada soars and files away its filigree. Events fabricate form. The world dreaming itself. What meniscus holds us apart? Tangible reality, nimble time, elastic constants. And then much later in the poem, I watered the avocado. Water fills the saucer its pot is standing in, slowly rising above the rim held in by the curving meniscus. Then the surface tension breaks in one place and it overflows. Each rivulet has its own skin that contains its flow. In the house above the railway line, somebody is playing a jazz saxophone. Dimples and time swirling, black hole, white space, change. And the very end of the poem. Sunlight feeds the garden. Everything shines and grows miraculous. Through the vortex and out the other side, now. A bit weird reading just bits of it, but like it's really long. Like she wrote a couple of books that are basically just all one poem.
Wow.
That's beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
I liked.
Yeah, I really love it. I highly recommend. One of her, or maybe the only book that she wrote that's all one poem is Berlin Diary. She got some kind of grant to go to West Berlin back when it was West Berlin. And given her fascination with boundaries, she was just like, wow, wow, wow. And yeah, it's great. Glimpse of like a New Zealander's view of being in West Berlin back when the wall was still there, but coming down-ish.
Yeah.
I think it was 1989.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you ever find it, I'd still be interested in that.
Well, I assume it can be bought.
Mm.
And if I buy a copy, I can lend it to you sometime.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, I don't know for sure. I've only had it from the library, so.
Mm. Well, I'll look for it. Maybe I can find it here as well. They might have it in the university library.
I missed that. My headphone fell out.
They might have it in the university library. Like,
yeah, they might.
I'm actually going to look for that.
It's possible.
All right. Does anybody, apart from Katie, want to go? Like, any more poems for tonight? Nope. Nope. Great. Then, Katie, the floor is yours, and you can close us out, and then we can say bye to the catch-up crew and have our after chats and bonus poems and all that.
So this one is by E.E. Cummings, and it's called Somewhere I Have Never Travelled. Somewhere I have never travelled, gladly beyond any experience, your eyes have their silence. In your most frail gesture are things which enclose me, or which I cannot touch because they are too near. Your slightest look easily will unclose me, though I have closed myself as fingers. You open always, petal by petal, as spring opens, touching skillfully, mysteriously, her first rose. Or if your wish be to close me, I and my life will shut very beautifully, suddenly, as when the heart of this flower imagines the snow carefully everywhere descending. Nothing which we are to perceive in this world equals the power of your intense fragility, whose texture compels me with the colour of its countries, rendering death and forever with each breathing. I do not know what it is about you that closes and opens. Only something in me understands the voice of your eyes is deeper than all roses. Nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. I love that.
Words.
Oh.
So much loveliness.
Those are some good last poem for the session words. Dang.
Yep. What a way
Thank
to
you,
close
Katie.
us out. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Shall we say bye to the catch-up crew? All of us together. All right. Catch-up crew, we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Andrea.
Andrea.
Thank you for suggesting this theme and for hosting. Like, great call, great theme.
Great theme.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
I read less than half of the poems that I had earmarked. 'Cause It was such a
Wait,
good
does that mean you'll
game.
just keep reading, Cass?
I mean, we have time for bonus poems.
Malcolm, I was wondering, and I don't know if your microphone would catch this, but while I read yours, there are 2 moments in the poem that have that sound that you make. I was wondering if I gave you like the bisexual finger guns, if you'd be willing to make the sound for me when it comes up.
It doesn't work on microphones. We've tried.
But I keep hoping.
Oh.
Katie, what was you said you had a secret poem for me.
I do. It's just for you.
A poem?
Would you like it?
Absolutely. Is it about butts or like eating grotesque amounts of eggs or something?
No, it's called Craftsman.
Oh. Oh.
All craftsmen share a knowledge. They have held reality down, fluttering to a bench, cut wood to their own purposes, compelled the growth of a pattern with the patient shuttle, drained acres to a trench. Control is theirs. They have ignored the subtle release of spirit from the jail of shape. They have been concerned with prison, not escape. Pinioned the fact and let the rest go free, and out of need made inadvertent art. All things designed to play a faithful part build up their plain particular poetry. Tools have their own integrity. The sneath of scythe curves rightly to the hand. The hammer knows its balance, knife its edge. All tools inevitably planned, stout friends with pledge of service, with their crotchets too that masters understand, and proper character and separate heart, but always to their chosen temper true. So language, smithied at the common fire, grew to its use, as sneath and shank and haft of well-grained wood, nice instruments of craft, curved the simple mould the hands require. Born of the needs of man, the poet, like the artisan, works lonely with his tools, picks up each one. Blunt mallet knowing and the quick thin blade, and plane that travels when the hewing's done. Rejects and chooses, scores a fresh faint line, sharpens, intense upon his chiseling, bends lower to examine his design. If it be truly made, and brings perfection to so slight a thing, but in the shadows of his working place, dust-moted, dim, among the chips and lumber of his trade, lifts never his bowed head a breathing space to look upon the world beyond the sill, the world framed small in distance, for to him the world and all its weight are in his will. Yet in the ecstasy of his rapt mood there's no retreat his spirit cannot fill, no distant leagues, no present and no past, no essence that his need must not distill, all pressed into his service. But he knows only the immediate care, if that be good, the little focus that his words enclose, as the poor joiner, working at his wood, knows not the tree from which the planks were taken, knew not the glade from which the trunk was brought, knew not the soil in which the roots were fast, nor what by centuries of gales the boughs were shaken, but holds them all beneath his hands at last.
That's fucking amazing. Thank you. Who wrote that?
This was Vita Sackville-West, who was the inspiration for the gender fluid protagonist of Virginia Woolf's novel Orlando.
Oh right. But oh shit. Yeah, no, that absolutely encompasses what I feel about it. Like yeah, everything breaks down and focuses.
Oh.
On a different note, everyone should go on Amazon and review Mike's poetry book because it only has 2 reviews, one of which is mine.
Oh, bless you, Katie.
Oh.
I wouldn't, you know.
I haven't even looked, to be honest.
I was going to say I wouldn't make, you know, bless her until you've seen the review.
Well, that's fair, to be honest. Yeah, I'll have to check. Slamming it.
I mean, it was very difficult to write a review without like mentioning that I knew you and loved you personally.
Oh, bless you.
I was like, no, I need to write a review of this, which will make other people buy it, not will make Mike's little heart explode.
Oh. Oh, Mike, I think you have
Let's have a look right now.
I think I'm gonna look as well. or maybe you can read it.
Oh, we mentioned Valerie's cushions, didn't we, earlier? You ready to show us your cushions, Valerie?
You don't actually have to. I just don't want to, but yeah, I could do a quick.
I'm interested in the one. Is it hands? Kind of doing the victory symbol, is it? Or?
Yeah, like peace symbol.
Okay.
It's like double-sided.
Hey.
Yeah, just got lots of. I love patterns and textures, so I've got masala chai. All of my India, basically. I mean, I've got
hey.
velvet cushion.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
I think I love this one. This little jungle feel.
Oh yeah.
And this is my favorite. It's like pomegranate trees. So this is like a really common print that you get in India.
Oh, okay.
And it's silk. So yeah,
it's beautiful.
Cushions and patterns.
Really lovely.
I'm the person that has almost like 10 cushions on my bed sort of thing, and I have to like, you know, at night time, and then I like neatly place them back on in the daytime. There we go. And I'm wearing tartan trousers today. I don't know how well you can see them in this light.
Oh. You got some trews.
Oh, I almost fell over there. So, yeah, because I thought, you know, I realize I'm quite a plain clothes person. So I think as I'm in my mid-30s now, I'm like, fuck it, why am I being so restrained? I just need to go with whatever I want, you know? And I definitely feel more inspiration from everyone in this community as well. So, but yeah, I put these on because we had like a Scottish themed quiz earlier as well, but I do wear these normally anyway. So yeah, it's a nice change from my jeans, because I used to wear dresses all the time, but I haven't worn a dress during lockdown at all, because I used to wear them all the time at work and stuff. But oh, so there we go.
I really
kind of exciting. Was that?
You're very quiet, Rory.
Okay, sorry, I will enunciate. On a related note, Lyric, I really like that thread that you created about just people posting like pictures of themselves. Like, it's really, really nice to go through and see all these things that like you all look like you're also like feel all euphoric about. It fucking rules.
That's so nice.
Thanks. I'm so glad I saw that and shared it. I can't wait to finish going through it and just like spewing everyone with compliments later. It is so fun to go through and be like, look how beautiful everyone I know is. Is everybody else just surrounded by beautiful people, or is this just me? Like,
yeah, I was definitely going through and being like, wow, everybody looks so nice. I just don't enjoy like strong compliments, or like compliments when someone said they're going to do a compliment. So it was like, maybe I'll look for a photo. Oh no, because I don't want a response, and that's not the point of this thing.
You can also post a photo and I will heart react and politely not respond at your wishes if you would like to take part without that. And like, you can always clarify that with me. I'm totally cool with people not wanting compliments. Like, boundaries are important, friends, as we all just talked about.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like, maybe I can just squirm and be uncomfortable, and it will be good for me.
You know, it feels like
Can I read another thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an excerpt from a Rupi Kaur poem,
Oh,
which is very thirsty.
Bracket.
Bracken and Lyric have already seen this. Baby, lick me, like your mouth has the gift of reading and I'm your favorite book. Find your favorite page in the soft spot between my legs and read it carefully, fluently, vividly. Don't you dare leave a single word untouched. And I swear my ending will be so good, the last few words will come running to your mouth. And when you're done, take a seat, because it's my turn to make music with my knees pressed to the ground. Baby, this is how we pull language out of one another with the flick of our tongues. This is how we have the conversation. This is how we make up.
Wow.
Hearing you read it also like elevated experience.
I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah, I was gonna read something, but also I'm gonna bunk.
I have very important things to do over in the bedroom.
Science. I'm gonna do science. Would you like to hear the Malcolm poem? Because I should take off soon after that.
Yes, I was about to ask. So yes. Yes.
Also, before you go, hello, Lyric. Cool name.
Thanks, Ian.
Awesome.
It makes me really happy.
Nice. I'm super glad.
Most of my family. And I just have like the last few family members who I have on Facebook who I'm not that close with, but it'd be hard if I didn't tell them before they saw it there to tell. And then I'm actually gonna like do the big thing and change it in public spaces.
But yeah. Well done.
It suits you so well. Like, it's perfect.
I think so too. Very validating to hear.
It's like you're the words that the music is talking.
Thank you.
Which is a lot like you are.
Damn it, Katie, can you open your mouth without giving me feelings? Like, I don't know if this is a thing that you're capable of doing anymore. Like, that's a positive damage.
Oh.
Okay, the things unsaid. There is something to be said for the things that, in the midst of words, don't require any. Silence can say many things, while a sound can convey so much more. The feeling after a good dance, the dear friend. The first sip of a cup of tea after coming in from the rain that manages to be the perfect temperature by the time you've finally gotten round to it. The sound of a baritone marshmallow rolling down a hill. A polite thank you from a humpback whale. A subwoofer kicking off its shoes after a dance weekend. Surrounded by sound pals to snuggle with. Inheriting someone through having a shared human you feel home in can be a peculiarly delightful thing. Certain comfort comes with the ease of an octopus's sigh upon hugging someone they've missed with all 8 arms. Like magical massage dances as the sun is likely rising and an unspoken understanding in quiet moments that ring with the assurance of holding hands you've been waiting to for what feels like far too long. That sound, it's like a bear having its first fresh berry after a long hibernation. And hearing the voice of a friend ask, "Are you sitting comfortably?" before getting into a long story. That mystic lingering feeling in the moment of quiet, following harmonies that flow like dancers in a stream upon first creating music with new friends. I look forward to hearing it when we finally dance again. I wonder if it will have changed as things tend to do when time has passed. I'm sure it'll still feel settling and fulfilling, like the sound a bathtub would make if it got fan mail. A sloth drifting into a pleasant dream. Chewbacca post shaking off snow, wrapping himself up in a cozy blanket. After all this time, it could be refreshing, like a tiny tortoise crunching on a chunk of lettuce, far too big for it. An elephant cooling itself off by the water. Sipping a beer in the shade with friends on a sunny afternoon. Perhaps it will seem as if there's more longing, like a shockwave when someone smiles at you from across the room. A dog hugging their best human friend upon returning from a long trip. Or Bigfoot, finding that after so long, he is finally no longer alone. Or the feeling I get on the way down from the sky until the moment my feet feel solid ground at the Glasgow airport. I imagine it'll be a bit of all of that. Perhaps like lighting a fire on a crisp autumn eve when you hadn't realized it was dark or that you were cold. There is something to be said for the things that when in the midst of words don't require any.
Oh God. Wow.
That's fantastic lyric. Awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And I do want to give some credits in here. Ooh, I can change the name on this to Bracken, Rory, Katie, Bina, Liz, Matt, and Nick were all around helping, tossing metaphors out while we were writing it. So they all deserve loads of credit. Thank you, Alex. I love when food randomly appears beside me. Moving fast.
Night, Tara.
Night, Tara.
I'm gonna go to bed soon as well. Andrada, do you have you made a decision already, or are you waiting for more people, like for tomorrow night for the Muppets Bee timing when we're gonna start? It's fine if you haven't. I'm just checking.
A few more people replied, and most of them are unbothered about the time. Lyric, would you be able to make it a little bit earlier? Or is that too much brain overload?
It might be a bit much brain overload from Closest Embrace, but I don't know how early in the script Fozzie comes in anyways. Like, I can always show up a bit late. Because I just need a good chunk between screen timey things with Closest Embrace right there.
That is totally fair. I can look at when...
Yeah, just let me know. Like, worst case, I can always listen and not stare at the screen for the first bit.
Sorry, Rory did an excellent arrival onto the sofa.
Yeah, that was a strong entrance.
Oh, my internet froze and missed it.
Don't worry, he's going to do it again.
Perfect.
Classic Rory.
Oh, yeah.
Did you manage not to spill the beer? It's
Wow.
everywhere. And you're muted if you were trying to talk, but if not, then that's also fine.
No, you didn't spill it, or no, you are now sitting in beer?
No, beer is intact.
Nice.
I mean, I know that people were looking to do some life drawing, Rory, and you look like one of my French girls. So if you wanted to model,
You find me the giant, garish, chunky necklace, and I'm your man.
You're anyone's for some costume jewelry.
Absolutely. I'm a slut for paste.
How do you feel about long pearl necklaces, Rory?
Not right.
Oh, you.
But genuinely in costume jewelry, that's a thing I can mail to you for this to happen.
I've never worn pearls. I wonder what it would look like.
Well,
Okay, yeah. Incidentally, also, on a related note, so do you folks remember Everest, right?
Yeah.
Lives in Jersey. So they've like been like getting their illustrations and stuff like printed as merch. Like actually Bracken is wearing one of their t-shirts right now. With a little pine tree hedgehog.
It's a little world of its own.
Oh.
So good, right?
Is this where you take off your trousers?
No, I'm not going to, but if people request, if you message me, I can send you a picture of the boxes that Bracken bought for me that Everest designed, and they're delightful.
are you sure you don't just want to take off your trousers if everyone's consensual, including you?
I don't want to put anyone on the spot to be like to go along
Fair.
with it. If you message me, I will absolutely send you my butt.
Oh my god, those boxers.
Give me your butts in a box. Show me what you've got.
Alright. I am on it.
I like what you've got.
22.
Give you like an audio description. Hang on.
Yes.
Alright, Malcolm, send it to you now.
Is it succulent?
Mm-hmm.
Funny you should say that.
That's the best pun I've made in days.
I think it's a little prickly, isn't it?
I get the pun so much better now. Like
Eric, can I read you a poem about missing people?
Am I gonna cry? Should I get tissue?
It's quite short. It might not make you cry. It's by Carol Ann Duffy, though. It's called Words, Wild Night. Somewhere on the other side of this wide night and the distance between us, I am thinking of you. The room is turning slowly away from the moon. This is pleasurable, or shall I cross that out and say it is sad? In one of the tenses, I'm singing an impossible song of desire that you cannot hear. La 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 la. See? I close my eyes and imagine the dark hills I would have to cross to reach you. For I am in love with you, and this is what it is like, or what it is like in words.
Oh.
You're too far away.
Agreed.
When people say agreed, it makes me think of saying Hagreed. Just to completely change the tone, and I apologize for that.
No, it's good. There were feelings starting to leak out my face. I needed a good laugh. Thank you.
When are we starting the next Harry Potter bit, Malcolm?
I think I'm on chapter 27 of listening through, as in I listened through the Stephen Fry audiobook beforehand. Yeah, it's definitely, like, it's 38 chapters, which is one more even than the last one, and most of the chapters are quite a bit longer. Like, there is no chapter under 25 minutes, and most of them are like 35 to 50. And the material is quite a bit darker, as in, like, most of you have read it and everything, but it's more serious as well, and I think I actually like it, and I think it's, you know, just a change, but it will, you know, I'm going to say those addendos when I advertise for folk. Yeah, so I'm enjoying listening through it again with a sort of organizer's ear.
And not just a Harry has seen angst here.
Yeah.
That's all of book 5 to me is angst. I mean, there's more to it, but angst.
Like, a lot of angst. But I actually feel I have more tolerance of his angst than I did even a couple of years ago. Because a couple of years ago, everyone was just going, ha 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 ha, ha angst. And in fairness, angst. But at the same time, like, the angst, at least you can look and say, okay, well, maybe he's not dealing with his feelings very well here because of A, B, C, D, E, as opposed to just, like, angst. It's not like he's being completely unreasonable all the time. It's more just, like, is unable to deal with feelings and stuff like that very well.
Totally. It's understandable angst.
Also just appreciating other characters, particularly Hermione actually being sort of like, this is how you do feelings. Which, you know, that's a lot of labour that she has to do throughout all of their friendship. But at the same time, at least does a solid job of it. Anyway, we can obviously talk about non-Potter related things.
I'm gonna go do some sleeping.
Oh.
Me too.
Lovely to see you, Katie.
Night. Night, night.
Thank you very much.
Night, Andrea. Thank you.
We're going to head off as well. Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Nice to see you.
Good night.